Yo, what's going on, dudes? HK Titan here with a brand new video for you guys, and in today's video, I have an absolute banger plan for you guys because I have a really cool map design in my head. Well, actually not a map design, but more of a map theme. And I got this theme from yesterday's video where I was checking out a bunch of different maps, and this map that Attack Duck did was really cool, and I kind of want to make a map with a similar theme, but not like the same exact thing. So the map design that I have in my head is like making a white and black themed map, but kind of similar to this yin and yang map that right here. But it's gonna be slightly different. Now, I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do this yet because I have the theme in my head, but I don't know exactly how to pull it off. So the first thing I want to do is I want to like choose a like plain background, but unfortunately all of these backgrounds, they have like a little bit of like an effect to them. So in order to make like the background that we want, we have to use these areas because these areas are like really plain. And I think this would look way better, right? So for the white and black theme map, we're going to be making half of the map black, and then the other half we're going to be making white. So for the white background, we're going to be using the snow background like this. And then, yeah, dude, I think this is going to look so cool. Now, the only issue I have with making this map, or the only issue I think I'm going to have with making this map, is there's not like a grid button where we can like turn on a grid pattern to like know if we have everything like meshed correctly. But basically what I want to do is I want to do like a mirrored styled map, and I also want to make the pathways out of the areas as well, similar to what Attack Duck did on his map. But the only thing I don't know is what I want the actual pathways to be themselves. So I was thinking about like just having like one pathway like go across on this side of the map and then have another pathway going along on this side of the map. But I want the map to be beatable on Chimp. That's the only thing, or that's like the main issue I'm having right now, because I could like do like two different styles or two different maps, like a black map or a white map and then the black map. But like I was saying, the main issue I'm having is I don't know how well the mirrored aspect is going to look. So like I was saying, the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and create a pathway on this side of the map. Now with this side, I want the first pathway that I'm going to be placing to be directly in the center of the map. Then I also with this pathway, I wanted to like go up, and then I think I wanted to like go to the center of the map. And then I was debating on like having it cross over to the left side and then exit up here in the top. But I want this to be a multi-lane path, or a multi-lane map. So instead of having like the first path like cross over, I think I'll have the first pathway come up, and then it'll come over here to the center, and then it'll exit in the top. I think that would end up looking really cool, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and get this first pathway set up, and then we'll see how it looks. All right, so this is gonna be the first pathway. Now, I'm not sure what's going on up here in the top. I think I have the pathways a little bit too close. So I want the pathways to be like really thin, but I think I'm gonna have to make the pathways a little bit wider. So let me go ahead and make the pathways just slightly wider, and then we'll see how it ends up looking. All right, so that doesn't look too bad. Like, I think I need to raise this one up just a touch because I think it kind of like makes it a little bit wonky. So let me go ahead and take a look here. So this is what I mean by like having a grid pattern. Is it would be nice if we could like have like straight lines to like make sure that the lines that we're making on the map are straight, because right now like they look straight according to like my perspective, but then again like it may be a little bit off. I think what's like kind of throwing me off is I think my white line is a little bit off balanced. So I think I need to like take my white line over to the right a little bit more, and yeah, dude, like that looks way better. Like I think that's the issue that I was having with like the straight lines, is that the middle was just a little bit off. So I think I also need to come back to this one, and it looks like the bottom is just a little bit bigger than the top, or a little bit wider than I wanted it to be. And I think that looks good. Now the next thing I want to do, like I was saying, this is going to be a mirrored map. So what I want the map to do is I want a black pathway to come down here, and then it'll come over here like this. and then it'll drop down, and that way we have one part of the mirrored map done, right? And I think, or the plan that I have in my head, it sounds, or I think it's gonna end up looking good, but I don't know if it's gonna look good until we actually get done with the map, right? Now begins the hard part, because for the hard part, we need to get this map to look exactly the same, or exactly the same as the other side, right? So, one thing I was debating on doing is if I like use the prop, one like railway tie, I think that would kind of like help us out a little bit. But with at least like straight lines and stuff, but I don't know how it would end up, but I don't know how accurate it would be. So let's just like freestyle it. Let me see. So we need to have it be a little bit closer. I think this is gonna be like the perfect angle. Now, in case you guys are wondering, like what I'm using to like try and like make the lines as straight as possible is like there's very, very small pixels along the line. And I'm trying to like make it so all of those pixels are like removed. Now you guys won't be able to see it in the video because they're like really, really small. But if you guys jump into the map editor yourself and you guys check out like the sides of the areas when you're trying to like make like straight lines, you guys will see the pixels that I'm talking about. And then how does that look? I think the bottom is a little bit off because I think the pixels are just a little bit too to the right. There we go. I think that should do. And then I need to like kind of like do my best to like eyeball it so like both sides are about the same width. And I think for the most part that looks pretty good. Like it almost looks like a perfect mirror if I'm not mistaken, right? But then again, I could be wrong. Again, I'm just eyeballing this, so I'm trying to get it as perfect as I possibly can. Now the next thing I want to do, I want to go ahead and add like a third and fourth pathway. And the first pathway, I'm gonna have it like come up here, and I'm gonna have it cross over, and I'm gonna have the pathway exit through the top. And I think that would end up looking really, really cool. Now, the map itself is gonna be really, really simple. So I don't want you guys to like expect anything like too crazy. I just like thought this would be like a really, really cool map design, right? Because I wanted to do something a little bit different. And after seeing Attack Duck's map, I was so inspired, and I thought the map, or like Attack Duck's map, was so cool that I wanted to make one for myself. Now for the first crossover, I'm probably gonna end up doing a dual crossover because like I was saying, I want to turn this into a mirrored map. So whatever we do on one side, the other side has to have the same thing, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll make this pathway a little bit shorter. But with this pathway, I want to make sure it's the like edge is lined up with this, because when we have it cross over, we need to change the colors, and I kind of want to keep like a little bit of a gap in between the two pathways. And I think that would look pretty sweet. Like it almost have like an artistic style or an artistic style, right? All right, how does that look? Like I was originally gonna like have it line up with this pathway, but I was thinking about it more, and when we go through and it like changes the side of the map, I didn't think it would end up looking good if the gap was too big, so I ended up making the gap a little bit smaller. Also, I think I need to lower this one a little bit because it looked a little bit wonky, right? There we go. And of course we're gonna have to like fix this up a little bit. Like this is one problem that we're gonna have when we're like trying to like make the gaps, or make the gap in between the pathways. And unfortunately, like Ninja Kiwi made these pylons like so massive. I wish, or I hope Ninja Kiwi like changes it in the future so like the pylons are like smaller, or rather than pylons, what if they just like did something else? Because the pylons are actually like so annoying. If we change the size of like, does this like make the pylons smaller? No, it doesn't. I know there's a setting where we can like make our mouse cursor smaller. So does making the mouse cursor smaller help? No, not at all. Like I wish Ninja Kiwi wouldn't have made these pylons so big, because like I get that they were like trying to go for like a cartoony vibe, but it's just like so annoying, and it's more hurtful than helpful, right? Like opposed to like using like these pylons, if they use like little like small squares, that would be so much more like more efficient, and it would make it a lot easier to design and make maps. So hopefully that's something that Ninja Kiwi addresses in a future update. Now, two things I would like to see Ninja Kiwi change like right away just by like trying to do this. I would like to see Ninja Kiwi one, make it, or like turn the pylons from cones into like little square nodes, kind of similar to what they use in like Photoshop, because again, like just having the pylons, it doesn't really make too much sense, because it makes making maps way harder than it needs to be, right? And then the second thing that I think would be really cool is if they added like a background of like every color. Like if they just added like an area where like they had every color of the rainbow, that would be really cool too. Now begins the second part of the map. Well, at least where the balloons are gonna come through. I'm gonna have the balloons like one side's gonna come over here, and then it's gonna go through and it's gonna go up through the top, and then we're gonna have this side go over here, and then it's gonna go the opposite direction. And that way this map should be beatable on Chimps, right? Like there's a big gap here, but I think it should still be beatable on Chimps, like I was saying. And then but one thing we're gonna do a little bit differently is we're gonna have the pathway split again, because like I was saying, I really like the way that Attack Duck's map looked when he had like the pathways like kind of split. I thought that was so cool and unique, and I wanted to incorporate that in my map. And like after trying to like do this, I realized like how long it probably took to make that map that he made, because the map that I'm making is relatively simple, but even though it's simple, it's still like, or I still think it's a pretty sweet map design, right? Or like opposed to having the pylons visible, if they made the pylons invisible whenever you're clicking on them, that would be cool too, right? That way they could keep their cartoony pylons, but at the same time, it would make making maps a little bit easier, because not being able to see like what's going on underneath the pylon is so annoying. Oh, another thing that would be nice is if they did a undo button in the map editor whenever you make like a mistake. Oh wait, no, they do have an undo button, but that's just for props, right? There we go. Nope, it's still not perfect. Like yeah. Like if they just made the pylons invisible whenever you're clicking on them, that would be so much better. Also the white lines that they have around the pylon itself, that's another thing that the map editor could do without, right? Because I mean, I know what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to like they want you to know like which pylon you have clicked, but again, it's just like adding unnecessary clutter when you're like trying to like make maps, right? Oh my goodness, I've been like trying to get this perfectly lined up for like the last like 5 minutes, guys, and I can't get it like perfectly lined. Like I'll get it close, and then whenever I click, yeah, like that happens. Oh my goodness, dude, this is so annoying. Ninja Kiwi, please do something about these pylons, because even when I'm not like trying to make a map like this, I like find like trying to like make simple designs with like areas and stuff, it's just so obnoxious that you have like basically no control over like straight lines and whatnot. So basically what makes this so hard is you spend a majority of your time like guessing like where the edge of the area is gonna be. Like I was saying, it's not just for like map designs like this. Like it's also super annoying when you're just like trying to like make a general area to begin with, right? Those of you guys who like actually make like maps, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like the more I'm doing this, the more I'm hating myself for like trying to make a map like this. Like this is so obnoxious, guys. Like every time I think I'm close to like getting it perfect, I end up like just barely tweaking it to the point where it's not perfect, right? Like I almost want to call it here because that's almost perfect, but it's kind of gonna be a OCD thing when I'm trying to like make a map like this, right? Like if it's not perfect, then it's really gonna stand out because we don't have a lot of color in this map. So like everything has to be almost perfect, because if it isn't, it's really gonna stand out, right? Like I wish like we could use mods when creating map, because I know somebody like feels the same way that I do, and I already know like they would have came up with a mod that would remove the pylons on like day one, right? All right, I think that's about as good as we can get it. It looks a little bit tilted, but oh man, darn it. Let me go ahead and work with it a bit more. There we go. Finally we got it perfect. Okay, now begins the second part where we have to do the same thing on the other side of the map. And now that I'm looking at this pathway seems a little bit canted to the right. Well, at least this line does. So I think I have to go back through and I have to change this a bit. Oh, there we go. Finally. Dude, that looks so cool. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and go through and I want to create the pathways. So yeah, dude, I actually really like the way that this looks. Like, it's not like an overly complicated map or anything like that, but it's just like a super simple design. And I really thought this style of map would look so cool. And actually, you know what? I'm actually really happy with the way that this turned out. Like, I need to go ahead and do a quick overview of this really quick. I think there are some parts that aren't like exactly perfect, but I think for the most part, like if you're just like looking at this and you're playing on this, like you wouldn't be paying like too close attention. But I think I need to fix this spot right here, because this pylon right here is just a little bit too far down and a little bit too far to the left. There we go. And I think that fixed it because I don't see any pixelation. So I think that's perfect. Now it's time to install the actual pathways themselves. So like I was saying, the first pathway is going to come over here. It's going to come up here. And then the balloons are going to come over here. And then they're going to exit in the top of the map. Now we need to go ahead and make sure like the pathways are pretty much as straight as we can get them. That way it doesn't look too wonky, or at least when the balloons are on the pathway. I don't want it to look like wonky or anything like that, right? There we go. I think that's gonna about do it for the first pathway. Now let's go ahead and swap the pathway over to a path width of 1, and then let's go ahead and grab ourselves the second pathway and do the same thing on the other side. All right, so I think I have all of the pathways set up. Let me go ahead and jump into sandbox mode really quick to see what it's gonna look like when the balloons actually pop out. So the balloons should come out on both sides. Then they have these ones going over here. They should cross over. Yeah, dude, this looks so cool. I mean, I know it's not like the most crazy map in Bloons, but it's definitely super interesting, right? But all right, guys, now that we know the pathways are gonna work the way that we want them to work, I almost wish there was 6 pathways that we could use, because I would have a 5th one that came down here and it would do a loop around the map like this. And then we have the 6th pathway do a loop around this smaller loop. I think that would make this map really hard. And to be completely honest, like the more I'm looking at this, the more I think like this is probably on the verge of being an expert map, simply because I made the gap here in the middle really wide, right? Now, of course, we really don't need to add any background effect because this is just going to be a very simple map. I was thinking about doing something a little bit extra, but I don't know how it would look. The extra part that I was thinking about doing is, what if I like added like some like shade in the background? Would that end up looking good or not? Let me go ahead and move a stamp layer 1 below all of these areas, well, at least below a majority of them, and then let's see how this looks. If I'm being completely honest, that doesn't look good, because it makes the black side pop out a little bit, or stand out a little bit more for not like actually being black, right? Because this really isn't the black color. This is more of a slate color, right? Let me see. So I almost want to like add my name up here in the top, kind of like an art piece, because I mean that's pretty much what this map is like, it's modern art and balloons. So again, a massive shout out to Attack Duck for giving me inspiration for this map. Now, of course, the last thing we have to do is we have to choose some background music. Now for the background music, let's go ahead and go with Game Boy, because this kind of has like a Game Boy feel, right? Now, of course, the next thing we have to do is, of course, name and play our map. All right, so for the name of the map, we're going to go ahead and keep it pretty simple. We're just going to call the map black and white. And then I think for the hero that I want to use is I want to go ahead and use Quincy. And dude, like, I'm so happy with the way that this map turned out. It looks so good. So let's go ahead and we'll start off with our Quincy placed right here. And then let's also grab ourselves a free dart monkey. So I'm actually really interested to like know what you guys think of this map. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you guys rate this map as far as like looks wise? And then also on a scale of a beginner to expert map, what would you guys rate this map? Would you guys rate this map a beginner map, a intermediate map, an advanced map, or an expert map? In my personal opinion, I do believe that this map should be beatable on Chimp. And I don't think it should be too hard. But then again, like round 15 could give us a little bit of problems. So it may end up being like a higher end advanced map or maybe a lower end expert map. But while we're beating this map, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support on the map creation series. As always, you guys are absolutely crushing it. That being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to subscribe as well, because we do upload daily BT6 content. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward all the way up until round 40, and I'll see you guys on round 40. And here we are on round 40, and there we go, dudes. We have officially beaten this map on easy. And as I was playing this map, it's definitely not as easy as I initially thought it was. Like, I take back what I said about this being like a high tier advanced map. I think this is more on the cusp of being an expert map for sure. But alright, dudes, if you guys would like to give this map a try for yourself, here is the code. But anyways, dudes, that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to subscribe as well, because I do upload daily BT6 content. But anyways, dudes, again, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.